Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect, out there teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth, listening and learning, and the sincere hopes that we may edify and feed the flock and the lambs of Yahushai, especially in these last days. And we done told you about these celebrities. We done told you about these celebrities, man. And I stand with the other Apostle Tahara on this as well. These sellout, broke back mountain niggas. These butt broken niggas that, 1 minute they're talking about, Hebrews. Next thing you know, they're talking about, donating some money to some black Muslim school. And if you notice the amount that he donated, 60K. This is just a response because I saw it on Apostle Tahara's video. He's just a confused Negro, man. It's true. And this guy, man, is just a confused blockhead Negro that just stick to playing ball, man. Because when it comes to this Israelite thing, man, you're just waiting for the missiles, man. People like the likes of this is who Yahushai is really coming back to get rid of, to destroy. All right, and they're gonna have to come back in their right mind, and they're gonna be hell of ashamed, just like it says in the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter. In fact, I'm gonna get that scripture just to open up, just to set the tone for this. Oops, no, and it was already on Daniel 12. That's the spirit. All right. So this is Daniel 12, and I'm gonna start from 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people." And who is the Lord's people? All right. We know who the Lord's people are. We should all be familiar with this scripture, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord, Yahweh thy power. The Lord, Yahweh thy power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth." And when you got something that's special, that's a cut above the rest. You set it apart among the other things that you have that might be of the same kind, but it's special. Like back in the time, in the beginning, you had 3 classifications of men. You had the sons of the wicked, you have the sons of men, and then you have the sons of God. All right, and the chosen line, is of the sons of God. And what does Israel mean? Israel goes back to the Hebrew Yasha'Allah, which means he is a prince of the power. All right, and that's who we are. Okay, we descend from a chosen line, a special people unto the Lord. And the Lord said that we were above all people that are upon the face of the earth. All right, and despite what Jake is saying out here in these last days, which again is a part of the curses, that we were going to be scattered among these other nations, and that we were going to serve. In fact, let's get that Deuteronomy 28, because you might as well let the scriptures speak. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. "For the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of earth even to the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." All right, so you got, the wicked, the lost ones of our people. And I say lost ones because they really ain't found. They really ain't woke. Jake want to talk about how woke they are, but they're really asleep. If you're bowing down and you're praying 5 times a day to Allah, you're really lost. Okay? If you praying to Krishna or Vishnu or whatever, all these, these 6-armed gods or whatever the fuck, man, you're lost. You serving idols of wood and stone. And when Yahushua comes back in the glorious fashion in which he is going to come back in power and great glory, just like the scriptures tell you in Matthew 24, that's when you're going to realize that you had it all wrong. That's when all these niggas out here are going to realize that there was a prophet among them. All right, and that's when they're going to have their heads down, man. All right, from the moment Yahushua shows up, or even before that, when the CHIP is pushed out and made mandatory, that's when they're going to have their head down, because they're going to take that And they're going to realize, hold on a minute, there was guys out there that were on the street corners that were saying that this was the MOT to the B. Revelation 13 and 16. All right? And you went out there and you lined up and received your badge of servitude, and you failed during the hour of temptation because you were not of the elect. Now, I pray that I'm not in that number where I don't falter, where I don't backtrack. I pray that, I endure into the end. And that's why we say, humbly, we say shalom to the hopeful elect, because this is about being of the elect, man. All right, but going back to the Daniel 12, and 1, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. So Michael's coming back, the archangel Michael, which means he, who is like the power of Mayaka Allah. Okay, and the Lord is a man of war. So what do you think Michael's gonna come back to do in these last days? It says the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. So now we know who the Lord's people are, the Israelites, the chosen people of the Lord. The Lord said we are a holy people. The word holy means separate. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. All right, and it don't matter how much donations you make to these bogus ass religions or whatever, man. It don't matter what you do. That 60K ain't gonna mean a damn thing very soon, man. It don't mean a damn thing now. Okay? And it surely ain't gonna mean a damn thing when the missiles come, or when the chariots come. Okay? Or when the CHIP is pushed out and made mandatory. Because ultimately, man, they're gonna reset this global economy. And like the WEF, they keep saying you will own nothing and you will be happy. Okay? So all of these bogus donations to these stupid organizations and all of that, it's really futile. It's really vanity. All right? And it's really for him to save his ass, because he's been in the media of late, because he what he was saying in the mainstream media, tweeting that Amazon Prime video from Hebrews to Negroes, or something like along them lines. And the spotlight was on him, and you had the IUIC going down there marching in great numbers, which is really, hey, the scripture says man's goings are of the Lord. The Lord put the spirit upon that whole thing to go down. Even the Barclays Center event, where the IUIC went down there in great numbers, because guess what? You can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. But ultimately, man, if the blind leadeth the blind, they shall both fall into the ditch. So we believe that there's sincere members that are of the elect, that are within these, offshoot camps, and, that are going to come to the true light, and push the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. But ultimately, if the blind leadeth the blind, then they shall both fall into the ditch. And there are some blind individuals out here, blind in the fact that they can't see this truth, because the Lord has blinded their minds that they don't see. All right? And let's read that in Romans 11 and 7, where the Apostle Paul said, what then? Israel have not attained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. All right? So who is this rest? The rest are those that are not of the elect. That's who the rest is. Okay? But ultimately, this is for the elect of the nation of Israel. It says, according as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see. You see that? Eyes that they should not see, if the blind leadeth the blind, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. So there you go, man. All right, so this ain't for everybody. The Lord said, what? Many are called, but few are chosen. So this ain't for everybody. All right? The Lord ain't dealing with that, that broad way which leadeth to destruction. The Lord is dealing with the narrow path which leadeth unto life, and only few be there that find it. In fact, let's get Matthew 7. Let's read that. Matthew 7 and 13, I believe. All right? Because if you follow after, you got these A-list celebrities, you follow after these A-list celebrities and that and whatever, they're really blind, man. They've taken a bag, they sold their soul, they've been butt broken, they've had to do some nasty things behind closed doors. And if you keep following them, then you're of the blind. Because if the blind leadeth the blind, then you shall fall into the ditch. It says, Matthew 7 and 13, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. You see that? So that way that leads to destruction is a wide gate, man. There's a broad way. All right? And it's going to lead you to destruction. It says, and many there be which go in thereat. So there's going to be many that go in there. Let's read it in the NLT. It says you can enter into God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad and the gate is wide, right? And for the many who choose that way, all right? And hell is a condition that's played out on the earth, man. You know? And there's going to be many that's going to be, burning in that lake of fire. The scriptures speak about the 2/3, shall be burnt, Was that Zechariah? Is it 13:8? All right, but let's go back to the KJV in verse 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. Right, and these words are written in red, man. These are the words of Yahweh Shai. He says, narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few be there that find it. Only a few. So the Lord is not dealing with the many. He's only dealing with the few, man. Okay, the Lord ain't dealing with mass numbers. In fact, the scriptures speak about the little sanctuary in Ezekiel 11 and is it 16? Yep, it says, therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, all right, which directly coincides with the precept in Deuteronomy 28:64 that we just read, that we've been cast off among the heathen, right? And although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. So the Lord is looking for that little sanctuary. He's not looking for the many. Okay, he's looking for the few. Okay. So and there's another scripture as well which I can get in the second Ezra's, the is it 8 or is it 1? I think it's 8. Second Ezra's 8:1. He answered me then. You see, he answered me saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for a few. And that's straight into the point, man. So the world to come is but for a few. Talking about the elect, starting with the elect. Okay. So let's go back to Daniel 12:1. All right, and it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand up for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was, since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right, and that's the elect. All right, so if you're of the elect, your name is written in the book of life. Okay, if your name is not written in the book of life, then guess what? You're doomed, man. Okay, you're just waiting for death. You're waiting for destruction. Okay, it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So niggas like Kyrie, all right, the scripture says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, this guy is double-minded, because at first he was talking about the Hebrews, all right, now all of a sudden he's talking about Islam and Muslims. Okay, and he didn't give one drop of dime, or not that we know of, to Hebrew Israelites. No, he gave it to the Muslims, man. All right, this is James. This is a good one. James 4:8 says, draw nigh unto the Most High Yahweh, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. And the Hebrew word for hearts is lab, which means your mind. So this is about purifying our minds, man. All right, the scriptures speak about, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereunto according to thy word. And the Lord's word is not in the Lord's word is not in the Quran, man. You know? Talking about guy donating 60,000 to some Muslims. The Lord's word is not in the Quran. All right, so how is donating 60,000 and hence the number 6? Because you know that vibration is 6. You know, see, these guys are insiders, man. They're juiced in. All right, like Elder Apostle Tahar said, they're buck broken. You know, they've sold out. All right, they're double-minded individuals, man. You can't trust these, because remember that they are of their father, the devil, man. And what's the nature of the devil? All right, to be a deceiver. The word devil means slanderer and deceiver. So they are of their father, the devil, and the lusts of their father, what they will do. Okay. So the point is, they look, man, they're gonna be in shame. They're gonna be in shame and everlasting contempt, meaning they're gonna have their heads down for a long time. All right. Verse 3 in Daniel 12, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. Right. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. And you know what, man? These guys, dunking, in these hoops, and they can ball or what and whatever. At the end of the day, they've received their consolation on this side. All right, they've received their consolation. You don't know what's going on with them. You don't really know what's going on. They could be getting brought into a back room. They can be getting told to read out scripts, told to do certain things behind the scenes, and then they come out on the mainstream media platform. And I always say, why does Esau give them the mainstream media platform? In order to say what they got to say. Why was why was he interviewed by Tucker Carlson on Fox News? You know that they own all these platforms. So at the end of the day, we have to critically think, and we have to read between the lines and think, why are they being given the platform to say what they're saying? Now, can there be some sincere ones among them that genuinely are telling the truth and whistleblower? Of course, we're not saying that there can't be. All right, but ultimately we know that Esau controls these major media platforms, and he can spin, stories and however which way he wants to spin them. All right, but that's okay, because we know for a fact that the Lord said that we are not to be ignorant of Satan's devices. Let's get 2 Corinthians 2:11. All right, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. And that's why we got to be like watchmen. We got to be having our eyes open. Okay? All the plans of the wicked elite and what they're trying to do, they can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth. All right? The scriptures told us this. It says Psalms 37:7. It says, rest in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and wait patiently for him. And this is about being patient, because you had that guy talking about, I don't want to be woke and be broke. But the word patient means to suffer. The scripture says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. So when you come into the truth, you ain't going to be making millions. You ain't going to be, you're going to have just enough to get by day to day. Okay. The scriptures speak about that, your daily bread. All right. So the word patient means to suffer. So this is about suffering in this truth. And, suffering is really a good thing when you look at it from the broader perspective, because ultimately when you suffer in this kingdom, it makes you hate this place even more. The scripture says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. It makes you vex against this place through the suffering, right? So that when the hour of temptation comes, it's like, listen, you gave up everything in this world anyway. You set your affections on the things above. You hated this world so much to the point where you wanted something different. You wanted Yahweh Shai to come back and make this place right, which is what we are longing for as hopeful members of the elect, man. We don't have, listen, the scripture says, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. The scriptures tell us that this place is not our rest. All right, so this is about patiently suffering, man. The scripture says, in your patience possess ye your souls, man. All right, and we don't need no false prophets. We don't need no Yays or Kyrie Irvings coming out and telling us who we are. We already know who we are. Right? We already know who we are. We already been taught that by our elders and our apostles, man. Now we know who we are. We discontinue from our heritage. But guess what? Just like the prophecy read in Hosea 1:10, in the land where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall it be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. So we know who we are, man. Okay? And we ain't confused, and we ain't double-minded about it either. But you see these celebrities, man, 1 minute they're into the Hebrews and the Israelite thing, and then all of a sudden that, that's what I'm saying. You can't trust these guys, man. All right, and that's why we always speak about these celebrities, man. Right? They've taken deals. They've sold their soul. Hey, Ye even said he sold to the devil for a crappy deal. Right? And you still got guys hailing up what he's saying and whatever. Like we ain't heard what's coming out of his mouth. Like we ain't been hearing it for years from the apostles and the elders, man. Come on, bro. The scripture said that I shall see thy teachers. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't seen the apostles and the elders out there on the street, man, then, hey, man, shit. I mean, which you're gonna have people that out there that probably ain't come across it. But hey, at the end of the day, the Lord said, "Thine eyes shall see thy teachers," man. All right, the scriptures speak about, have they not seen, have they not heard? Okay, and the Lord could use these celebrities, even a blockhead that dribbles a ball. You know, he could use these A-list celebrities to push out that vibration even more. Use them for a purpose and then dash them away. All right, and that's exactly what I believe the Lord has done in this situation. The Lord just used these A-list celebrities, these individuals with big names on a main stage with a platform, to push out this truth even more, and that further proves that we're at the time of the end. Okay, it further proves that we are at the time of the end, because this truth is done busted wide open. Psalms 34:7, it says, "Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way." Right? And Esau is the one who's prospering, who seems like he's prospering in his way right now. Okay, that's why they got their NWO agenda. They're making moves on the left-hand side, but we ain't supposed to fret that. Okay? When you read it in the NLT, what did it say? Don't worry about evil people who prosper, or fret about their wicked schemes. Don't fret about them, man. Don't worry about them. Okay, but I'm gonna read it in the KJV because I prefer it in this particular verse. It says, "Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." And what did we just read in 2 Corinthians 2:11? "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So he's bringing his wicked devices to pass, but we ain't supposed to fret that. All right? And the ultimate wicked device that he's got is what? The MOT to the B. And the Greek word for devices is noema. All right? This is a mental perception, thought, and evil purpose. That which thinks, the mind, the thoughts or purposes. So Esau, he encourages a diligent search. Remember, they got them think tanks, man. All right? And over there, what's going on over there in China, that's nothing but a test run for what's coming to these major cities. You see how they're going on protests over there in China. They say it's the worst protest, since a generation, apparently. Which again, that's prophecy, man. The scriptures speak about uproars of the people. So we see these things happening in these last days. Why we see that happening? Because, hey, it lines up with Habakkuk 2 and 3. What did the Lord say? That for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So the vision is what? These prophecies. And only if you're of the elect, are you going to be able to see these prophecies playing out, man. Only if you're of the elect are you going to be able to understand these prophecies. Okay? That's why Yahweh Shai told the disciples when they asked him, "Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" Let's get it. Matthew 13:9. "Who have ears to hear, let him hear." And the disciples came and said unto him, "Why speakest thou unto them in parables?" He answered and said unto them, "Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given," man. All right? And let's go into that word mysteries. All right? Because they asked him, why are you speaking to them in parables? Right? The word mysteries is what? Mysterion. It says hidden thing, secret, mystery. What is that? That reminds me of Amos 3:7. "Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets." All right? It says generally mysteries, religious secrets confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals, man. All right? So the elect are not like, they're not ordinary mortals, man. Okay? The elect were chosen before the foundations of the world. You best believe it. It says a hidden or secret thing, not obvious to the understanding. Not obvious to the understanding. Okay? That's why the Ethiopian eunuch, man, when Philip, the Spirit got on Philip in Acts the 8th chapter to join himself to his chariot, and he said, "Understandest what thou readest?" And what did the Ethiopian eunuch reply? He said, "How can I, except some man should guide me?" So this is about being guided, man. All right? This is about being taught, by men who were set up to teach you. All right? And we believe that's the apostles and the elders on down through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, so fuck these A-list celebrities. They ain't taught us nothing new. They can't teach us nothing, man. Okay, with their double-minded with their double-minded ways, man. They can't teach us. The scripture says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This guy now, he's put it out there that he's donating 60,000. All right, and again, the emphasis on the 6, man. All right, 60,000, to NYC's oldest black Muslim school, man. So how comes he didn't give it to the IUIC? They were the ones, I didn't see the Muslims out there in the full force marching around the Barclays Center. In fact, when he was questioned about IUIC out there, he just said he wanted to talk about basketball. He didn't donate no money to them, not that we know of. All right, but that wasn't made public. Now him donating it to the Muslims now, that just raised more alarm bells. Why is he donating to the Muslim community? Now what are they trying to do? Are they trying to link us in with Islam? What are they trying to do? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We have to really understand, we have to really understand what this devil's trying to do here. Okay? Or what he is capable of doing. All right, because this devil is the devil. He's a deceiver. All right, it says back in Matthew 13 and 11, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. All right, them parables, man, them dark sayings. Okay, the Lord has to reveal them secrets. Let's read it in the NLT, verse 11. He replied, you are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but others are not. So is this for everyone? No, it's not. It's not for everybody. All right, the Lord just said it. Others are not. Okay, to them it is not given, man. So this ain't for everybody. Again, Romans 11 and 7. All right, Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So go on all there with all that donating money to the black Muslims, man. Go ahead with all of that, because in the end we're gonna see. Right, if you're going to be out here calling on Allah in these last days, and let's see if he's going to come and save you, man, when the chariots get here, when Yahweh Shai comes back, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, a Hebrew Israelite. All right, let's see if that, that 60,000 is going to save you, man. That donating the 60,000 is going to save you. Ain't nothing going to be able to stop no one out here and ain't no one going to be able to save you unless you're of the elect. All right, and that's Yahweh Shai that's coming to save the elect. All right, Matthew 24 and 30. You can close out on this. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right, which is Yahweh Shai. He's coming back as a force, man, to be reckoned with. Right? There's a scripture that says in Isaiah 66 and 15, Old Testament, which said, behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind. So the Lord is coming back with power, with fire. All right? Verse 31 says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the one end of heaven to the other. So ultimately, man, this is really about the elect. If you're not of the elect, you just out here you just out here eating, drinking, shitting, and waiting for destruction, man. As for the elect, we got a greater story written for us, man. Right? And Lord willing, I'm in that number. The story that's written for the elect is for them to be saved on a ship. All right? For those that believe. See, the Lord, what did the Lord say? Nevertheless, shall he find faith on the earth. This is about faith. And Hebrews 11 and 6 says what? Now is donating £60,000 to the black Muslims, is that an act of faith? Come on, bro. Hebrews 11 and 6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. Right? For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe. So this is about the belief. And what does the scripture say in Romans 3 and 3? For what if some shall not believe? The blind leadeth the blind, they shall both fall into the ditch, man. If you don't believe, you're going to fall into a ditch. You're going to be in a very sticky situation. Right? It says, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And that word diligence, man, I must be allowed to read one more precept. Is it 2 Peter 1 and 10? It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. Alright, so this is about being diligent, man. Alright, giving diligence to make our calling and election sure. The Lord said if we do that, we ain't never gonna fall, man. Alright, so let's just, keep teaching the word, keep believing. For what if some shall not believe, right? Keep believing and watch these unbelievers decay. Watch these unbelievers bug out. Watch these unbelievers, not be stable in these last days. Because the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Okay, who's the thy? The elect. Alright, the scripture says he shall be saved out of it. What's the it? The Jacob's trouble. The time of Jacob's trouble is coming. Alright? So let's stay strong, let's stay diligent, and to hell with these fucking celebrities, man. So with that, to the next time, shalom.